Welcome everybody to the new Recycling and Organics Recycling Service rollout. I'll be your host and moderator today. My name is Natasha Wasim. I am with the Riverside County Department of Waste Resources, and I am a recycling specialist too. Today we are joined by another presenter, Sandy Salas with the Riverside County Department of Environmental Health. And today we're also joined by a franchise waste hauler, and today's presentation is with CR&R Incorporated. So just to begin, just talking about the program coordination, this rollout deals with a lot of different factors and moving parts, and that's why it's inclusive of two agencies as well as our waste haulers. We have the Department of Environmental Health, who is in charge of the ordinance, the contracts with the waste haulers, as well as the rates and any waivers for exemptions due to any regulations and other information regarding the waivers. We also deal with the CR&R Incorporated, which is a solid waste hauler, and they are in charge of the bin cart delivery, residential services, commercial services, as well as contamination and inspection. Our department, the Department of Waste Resources, is in charge of education, workshops, online media, monitoring, and compliance as well. And just some quick housekeeping tips. If you do have any questions or comments, feel free to use the chat box. We will have a specific portion of today's workshop for a Q&A session, but if you're interested in asking something right away, feel free to type that into the chat box. And as mentioned before, this presentation is being recorded and will be available on our website at the end of this week. So I'm going to go ahead and transfer presentation rights to Sandy. And Sandy, you can go ahead and take it away.
Okay, thank you. Let me see if I can get to the next slide.
It's like the little, yeah, there you go.
I got it, I see it. Okay, so today we're gonna go over just pretty general the requirements for why we're having these informational meetings and the different laws that came into play, requiring some new bins and new forms of waste separation and diversion. One of the first laws that came into effect was actually effective in July 2012, and it is for mandatory commercial recycling. So this would be the blue bin. Any commercial businesses that generate 4 or more cubic yards of trash per week, or multifamily dwellings, meaning 5 or more units. If you are in one of those categories, and you are now required to have mandatory commercial recycling. So you'll have an extra bin to go along outside with the regular trash. The next requirement or law that came into effect passed in 2016, and very similar. The categories are the same. So any commercial businesses generating 2 or more cubic yards of any waste stream per week, or a multifamily dwelling, 5 or more units, is going to require mandatory commercial organics recycling. So 3 bins now, not only the regular trash recycling for paper, cardboard, plastics, and now you have a commercial organics bin that will be for landscaping, wood waste, turf, things like that, yard clippings. Anyone who is covered in the first 2 laws that passed requiring the recycling or organic recycling is also going to be required to have containers in the front of the house of your business, meaning waste bin, recycling, and an organics bin for your customers to use. And it should be clearly marked in the front of the house with which waste streams are there and what's provided for the customers. It's just a quick timeline to kind of let you know what's coming in the future. One of the next laws that's coming into effect is called SB 1383, and it is the short-lived climate pollutants bill that passed. And it is requiring everyone to divert waste from the landfill. We want to reduce our waste in general, but specifically organic waste, from being disposed in the landfills. since this produces a lot of methane and it is a harmful gas to the environment. So some laws were put into effect, and you can see on this timeline what's kind of coming. And starting in 2020, we were supposed to try and reduce our organic waste disposal by 50%, and the goal is to reach 75% reduction by 2025. Any food restaurants will be required to divert their edible food. So anything that is edible at the end of your shift or closing, you want to kind of be able to donate that or divert it in some way or another so that that's not going to the landfill. Specifically for Riverside County environmental health, we helped pass this Riverside County Ordinance 745, which updates the requirements for all residents with the trash compulsory collection. So everyone is now required to have a 3-bin system: the regular trash bin, a blue recycling bin, and a green organics recycling bin. If you think that you meet if you are exempt or you meet a waiver requirements and you think that you don't have the physical space to have 3 bins, or if you aren't generating enough organic material or recyclable material, you can contact our department and we could see about getting you a waiver. Possibly we would do a site assessment or work with the hauler to make sure that we could identify what you're seeing and that you meet that criteria. So everyone is going to have 3 bins unless you think that you meet the requirements for a waiver. So there's more information at the end of the presentation on how to contact us. So just kind of to recap the new services that you are going to be getting, 1 or 2 extra bins, depending on what you currently had in place. So everyone will be having 3 bins. We're going to be working with the haulers. Your hauler will be rolling out these 3 bins to your businesses, unless you notify us or your hauler that you maybe don't qualify and need to have an assessment for a waiver. So there's going to be some changes to your rates and also maybe the days of the week that you get those services, your trash picked up. So like I said, in the ordinance 745, there is a possibility for a waiver, and you would contact our department. The different types of waivers are self-haul, minimal waste generation, or physical space limitation. So those are the 3 categories, meaning if you want to take your own recyclables in and keep track of those receipts and prove to the department that you are disposing of those on your own. Same with the organic material. Or if, like I said, you didn't have enough physical space to include or have 3 bins in an enclosure set up for your business, or if you aren't generating very much or any green waste at all, you can contact our department to see if you qualify for that waiver. And then I think this now goes to Allie for the information specifically for your pickups.
Hi everyone, I'm Allie with CR&R. Just to go over some of these slides. So the rates, your bundle rate will depend on what area you are in. Sorry, let me take this off really quick. So your rate will depend on what county area you are in. It varies amongst everybody. The bundle rate includes your current trash bin, and then a 96-gallon recycling cart and a 65-gallon organics cart. You can kind of think of these as what you have at home, the carts that you roll out to your curb. So those will be the easy transportable ones. They're way smaller on space, so they're easier to fit in your enclosures or outside your enclosures, however you want to have that set up. It's all based for you guys, and those are the sizes that we'll be including with those rates. Go to the next slide. So the time for rollout, we will begin the automatic rollout beginning October 1st. So that will be the cart distribution to all businesses and multifamily accounts. And if you do not want these services that you don't want the carts, you want to apply for a waiver, or you're interested in just seeing your options, seeing you have space constraints or don't have that that threshold that Sandy was talking about, you just contact the Department of Waste Resources and they can help you get that waiver and get you set up before this rollout goes out. And then, of course, if after the fact something happens, you end up donating the carts or something along those lines and you need a waiver, you can still contact the Department of Waste Resources and then they'll work with us on getting those either pulled or increasing your service and that sort of thing. Then residential cart distribution will start 2022 if they do not already have those carts available, which most of the areas do already. And then for the cart distribution, your trash bin will not be affected. It'll still stay the same of what you have. The days of service with your new carts will be new, and we can be contacting you on what the days are, and you can always contact our customer service representatives if you have more questions. And yeah, thanks, Andy.
Sorry. Okay. All right. Future requirements. So like we have been saying that these new laws coming into effect, or right now we are rolling out the service and the changes for all commercial businesses and multifamily dwellings. So this will also trickle down to residential level where everybody will be complying, which is covered with the short-lived climate pollutants bill that was passed. And that again is to reduce the amount of methane being generated by organic waste decomposing at the landfills. So we want to waste less and divert those waste streams to other areas. There will be, let me see, can we go to the next slide? Oh, that was it. Okay, so there'll be enforcement coming in the future again. So we're rolling everything out, educating the public and anybody who's of concern to let you know what's going on. And then in the years in the future, there will be new things that come and laws and maybe some enforcement action that takes place if things aren't handled properly. But that is for the future. And if anyone has any questions, they can ask now, or we can just put up the slide for the resources too, even if people have questions. Contacts. So here's everyone's contact that was on the presentation today and kind of some categories so you know if you have a question about getting a quote or if your bin is the right size, you're going to call CRNR. If you want to ask specifically about a waiver or what if something is in question about the ordinance, you would call our department, environmental health, and educational outreach or informational info bulletins. You can contact Department of Waste Resources. So everyone's information is there if you need it. Is there any questions in the chat? These are different regulations that we went over today, so you can look at them more specifically or read up on them on your own. Information about the 3 or 4 bills that we talked about, the ordinances, and all the county resources that are available for you.
Great. Thanks, Sandy, and thank you to Ali from CRNR. We do have one question about waivers. Which department would a business contact for a waiver?
This is Department of Environmental Health. So if we go back a slide, you can see our office phone number is there, 951-955-8980, or you can also email lea@rivco.org.
Great. Thank you, Sandy. Another question is, where can I find the bundled trash service rates? I think that is for Ali with CRNR.
Hi, yes, so we get the rates from Environmental Health, the department as well. If you want the specific rate for your area, you can, if you'd like, you can provide your contact information and I can get back to you, or just to be easier across the board, just call our customer service number that's listed on the slide right there and they can tell you as well.
Yeah. Sorry, I could have commented on that too. I just paused for a minute. I didn't know if you want to say something. Yeah, the rates were approved through the Board of Supervisors this last July, so they're all set for the county area. But if you contact us or Ally specifically, yeah, they can get the rates to you wherever you're at.
Thank you, Allie. I think that concludes our questions. But again, if you do have any questions, feel free to reach out to Sandy with Department of Environmental Health or Allie at CRNR. All the information is here, as well as us at rcwaste.org, where we will also have the PowerPoint and the recording there too. Thank you, Sandy. Thank you, Allie. And thank you to everybody for joining us for this very quick but informational session on the new organic rollout, recycling and organics rollout. And feel free to stay on, ask more questions, or you're also free to log off as well. Thank you.
Thank you.